Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 18th of May. Starting off with the FTSE 100, which is still having that dance on the 50-day moving average, the blue line there around 77.20. Nice to see that it's continuing to bounce on it, which gives us hope that this is the right-hand shoulder of an inverted head and shoulders, breaking the neckline at 7900. Could then unleash a 600-point rally. If we don't do that, then probably looking down to 76.30, which was April's support, and the worst case scenario, obviously around 7,500 at the floor of that rising September trend channel. RSI just either side of the neutral 50 levels, are not really helping us very much, but I suppose it's near enough to give us some comfort. Moving along to the DAX, which has always been, in the recent past, the better version of the FTSE. Here we were waiting for an end-of-day close through 16,000, and it looks like we'll get it with an unfilled gap to the upside. Beautiful move there, and looking for the top of the rising trend channel there at 16,700 by the end of next month, and maybe if we're really lucky by the end of this month. On the downside, below 15,700, the old February-March resistance risks down to the floor of that rising September trend channel at 15,500, but we're not really looking for anything worse than that. Moving along to the Dow, which also has had its recent dance against key charting furniture. The main one here was the 50-day moving average. Bounced off that with a double bear trap so far this month below the 50-day line at 33,100. Looking for this market to break 34,000 on an end-of-day close basis, and that could give us a move up to the top of the rising trend channel from back in September, as high as 36,800 by the end of next month. Obviously, that looks like pie in the sky at the moment, but maybe the debt ceiling speculation might get this market over the line. But the main line there, actually, the 34,000 level, that one-year resistance line on the daily chart. Moving on to Bitcoin, where one hopes its recent pullback has run its course. Here we can see that basically trading flat today. Had a bear trap below the old late March support there at 26,700. Above that, we're looking for this market to break the 50-day moving average around 28,500 and then push through to the 30,000 zone. The best case scenario target by the end of next month would be up to 35,000 now at that July 2022 resistance line projection. On the downside, we're hoping that we don't see anything worse than the 25,000 area, which was the old August to February resistance. Moving along to the stocks, and quite an eclectic selection today. We've got Amigo, which is obviously the most eclectic of the lot, given that prospects for the company don't seem to be quite as rosy as they should be. Here we've got a W-shaped turnaround here, rebound, neckline resistance there around a penny. We need to break that resistance line from March at 1.2 pence to start judging this company to be in bull mode, however weird that might be with the fundamentals. But it is interesting that we're back up at the 50-day line, which really nudged on a couple of occasions earlier this year. So this really, an end-of-day close above that would be pretty impressive. That is around 3/4 of a penny. On the downside, I suppose yesterday's resistance around 0.5 would really be the stop loss, but obviously anything can happen here, and it's not for the faint-hearted. Well, I suppose none of the markets for the faint-hearted at the moment. Moving on to Aston Martin, which is a sort of unusual, gets an unusual mention here today. Here we've got a rising trend channel. It's been in place since September. With the Chinese money, it looks as though we've got the shares breaking out quite nicely. Old resistance around £2.50. The late April resistance above that, we're looking for as high as £3.50 as soon as the end of next month. But at this stage, only back below the 50-day line around 232 really upsets the idea of a proper turnaround in the shares. 50 and 200-day lines now both rising, so that is why we have the honour of Aston Martin here on the Bulletin Board Heroes. On to African Pioneer, where we're mid-range at the moment. We've got a rising 50 and 200-day moving average set up. We had an unfilled gap to the upside from the lows, which tends to be a decent signal. And what we're looking for here is a break of 3.25 pence to take us up to 4 pence initially, and then maybe 4.5 pence by the end of next month. But the key here, maybe holding recent support rather, around 2.75 pence. Moving along to Chill Brands, where it looks as though the service provider is delivering the goods for the company. Here the shares have actually not only hit the target we were looking at 8 pence, but they've exceeded it. So we're left scrambling to find what the next target may be on this situation. And by the magic of charting, I can probably tell you what that would be. At the moment, above 8 pence, looking for the shares to hit that resistance line projection that I've drawn there from back in September, as high as 11 pence as soon as the end of next month. At this stage, only an end of day close back below yesterday's high at 7.3 pence, really delaying the idea of 11 or even 12 pence by the end of next month. On to Hellenic Dynamics, which has been a charting winner over the recent past, maybe surprising to some, but here we've got, well, this is sort of effectively an inverted head and shoulders, but the right shoulder here, the support around 0.14, 0.15 above that, we're looking for 0.24 at a resistance line projection from back in December by the end of next month, and perhaps even sooner. Good to see ImmuPharma on the front foot in terms of the charting and the shares. Here, the block, as I said this morning in the RNS hot list, is that we need an end of day close through 3.5 pence if you can do that. Could be up to 6.5 pence by the end of next month, given that we've got a very symmetrical and a very positive looking turnaround there on the daily chart. Another extended inverted head and shoulders, but that neckline resistance at 3.5 pence. The level to break. On to Mast, the company which has announced, delivered an announcement today. Here we've broken through the top of that falling wedge. Unfilled gap to the upside as well, broken above the 50-day moving average at 1.25 pence. Above that, we're looking for 2.5 pence at the top of that broadening triangle from December as soon as the end of next month. So relief there, and also the run-up to the latest break higher was accompanied by bullish divergence, hence we're expecting a decent move and decent momentum there. Myhealthchecked, the next candidate, and again, big news here for this company, breaking out of falling wedge, breaking through the 200-day moving average, and above 22 pence, basically that July resistance line, looking for 40 pence as soon as the end of next month. Just 3 situations to go in this sweep today. First one is Ovoca Bio, and here another breakout, in this case also through the 200-day moving average at 6.8 pence. Above that, we're looking for the shares to hit the top of that rising trend channel from back in October, as high as 9 pence as soon as the end of next month, and hopefully by the end of this month. Uptrend line in the RSI window also helping inspire confidence. Another big company that normally would not be in the Bulletin Board Heroes is Petrofac, but missed that jump the other month, so was trying to get a revenge on that. Here we've gapped up from the 50-day moving average. Nice triangle breakout there, and above the March resistance line there at 72 pence, we're looking for the shares to hit as high as 95 pence by the end of next month at the top of that rising trend channel from back in January. So decent setup there. Finishing off with a stock which has been battered and bruised more than most by the cynics, but here we've broken through that 0.1, the key 0.1 pence level, V-shaped bull flag, unfilled gap to the upside yesterday, so everything going on here very nicely. An end of day close above the initial May resistance around the 0.115 level should take the shares up to 0.18 as soon as the end of next month. So well done for those who managed to resist the onslaught. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.